My friend is ending our 15-year friendship because I refused to host her.
I guess 15 years means nothing nowadays.
15 years out the window. And by the way, this is a direct OK Storytime from one of you guys. Awesome. Hello, everyone. First-time poster here, and English is not my native language. I love your show, and we love you, and have been thinking of posting this for a while now. I really tried summarizing this story, but it is kind of a long one. I, 31 female, have been friends with Jessie, 32 female, since we were 15 years old. I had just moved to a new town, changed schools, although I was used to moving, had some difficulties making friends. By the way, this comes from user Actual Development 95, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, just like you did. That's great. Crazy.
There you go.
She was the first to come to me and show interest. We quickly became friends, and she even dated my brother for a few months. After they broke up, we became a bit distant, but after a while, we rekindled our friendship. Okay, we became even closer. After the year ended, we went to different high schools. In my country, high school is only 3 years. She went to a very prestigious Catholic boarding school, while I went to a local high school. We would see each other on weekends along with our common friend group. She has always been a smart, outgoing, friendly person who got along with lots of different people. But I always thought we had a special bond. We had a lot of first-time moments together and navigated late teens and early adulthood together as well.
Like first kiss.
Yeah, I was thinking. I was like,
cherry popping.
Yeah, I was like, what?
First marriage. You know, all the firsts together. Great friends.
What are first for friends? Like first, I guess like first sleepover.
Yeah.
But then like first kiss. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to jump to conclusions there. We were kind of wild and troubled.
Well,
and
now I'm jumping to conclusions.
And experienced all the fun stuff. Raves, parties with strangers, and all sorts of crazy stuff together.
Okay. So like first drinking, first party, first rave.
Yeah. All the teenage, young adult stuff that you can think of, you know, in all those movies. Mm-hmm. And luckily, we never got into any real trouble. When we turned 18, we went to different universities in different cities. But they weren't very far away, so we could keep seeing each other on weekends. This is the year she started getting depressed. She started the year going into a very prestigious and difficult course that she stopped attending a few months in. She then started law school and quickly stopped that too. She's just doing the hardest things first. She's like, let me try the hardest things first, and then we'll go down to the bottom.
Then we'll just find the one that I don't quit.
Yeah. She was smoking the devil's lettuce a lot.
That good ganja.
And OP says, so was I.
Oh.
But this combined with high expectations from her parents, which made her slowly but surely spiral downwards. At the time, she was in a serious relationship with a common friend, Nate.
Nate.
Okay. Jesse and Nate. The following year, they moved to a bigger city, farther away, and she had become very distant. She stopped attending her new, very expensive business school only a few days in, and it was hard to talk to her. She would spend her days smoking in bed. Some months went by, and she started seeing a therapist, which really helped.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Great job.
She ended up going to Argentina with a friend of hers, and after that, we got back in touch and had a long conversation about her mental health and how she had felt abandoned by me during a very hard time. I mean, we don't know. This is from OP side of the story, so we don't know. Maybe she did reach out, maybe she didn't.
Yeah. And also, like, she's dealing with like logistical, like hard, like the hard course, the business school.
Yeah.
And so we don't know if like she's getting involved with that and
But I also think OP's also doing their own thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, they have their own life too. It's very hard to, especially if you're not together, you can only do so much reaching out, you know, via messaging.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Yeah. And we have limited information here. So.
Yes. I told her I felt very sorry and that she was kind of right. I had, but not before I had tried. But she pushed me away after every attempt. So I guess OP did try.
Yeah.
But sometime after that, I had earned my bachelor's. Congrats. Had traveled to South America twice and opened up a small business.
Okay.
All right.
Pop off, OP.
She entered school in my town, and I was so happy because it would mean that we would see each other more. I presented her to my friends, and she made lots more, assuming more friends. During this time, I was in a relationship with Victor. He's a really nice guy, and I really liked him. We lived together, worked together, did everything together, and we were a great team. He got on really well with Jesse, and Jesse was also with someone at the time, a friend of mine. So I guess Nate's out of the picture.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I guess Nate's out of the picture.
Yeah.
After some time, I had a really tough time with my mental health and was having multiple panic attacks a day. It had a lot to do with my relationship because I felt trapped He was an amazing partner, but I wasn't in love with him. We went through a messy separation where I basically cheated on him, so I had to leave him. I still feel very ashamed of that, by the way. You know how we feel about cheating here, OP.
Not the biggest fans.
Not fans.
But life is life.
Yeah. We make mistakes, but as long as you learn from them. But still. I left everything and everyone and stayed at my parents' for a time. Then moved to the other side of the country for a guy I had met a few years before. JJ. We're calling him JJ. He's 33 male. I had a clean slate to start a new life. I ended up getting pregnant 4 months into the relationship, which was quite a shock, as you can imagine. We decided to keep the baby, and I gave birth to a healthy boy in 2021.
Okay.
My friend Jessie was very distant during this time, and I felt very left out. She told me at the middle of my pregnancy that it was very triggering for her since she has always wanted kids, but probably couldn't because of a health condition. So she wouldn't be around that much. I kind of understood, but still felt very sad that I had to go through this very important and life-changing event without the support of my dearest friend. She broke up with her boyfriend a few months after my son was born and came to visit me with a friend of hers that I didn't know. She was on vacation and was visiting family that she has in this part of the country. I was so happy to see her. During these 2 days, I told her now that she was single, I could tell her that I really thought that she and Victor, my ex, would be a really great fit for each other. She brushed it off. She told me she was thinking of moving closer to me and especially to her family, which was good news because that would mean that we would see each other more. Okay. And your baby. 9 months after my son's birth, I became pregnant with my daughter.
Oh, wow. With the same guy that you had the first child with
JJ.
A couple months in?
JJ, yeah. I would say it's JJ. Nothing different here with names. So okay. JJ. Jessie came to the gender reveal party and told me she was in love and in a relationship with someone.
Victor?
I instantly knew it was Victor.
How do you instantly know that?
Do you just not meet other people? You just like, okay.
It's like, if you were trying to set me up with someone once and then I was just like brushed it off and then like months later I was like,
I'm in love.
Hey, I'm in love. And you're like, it was them.
I did this.
Like, it'd be so not the first thought in my head.
No, it's very weird, but okay. Especially when she brushed it off. You're like, I don't want to do that. But okay. I instantly knew it was Victor and was genuinely happy for them both. The beginning of my pregnancy was fine, but troubles began in the second trimester.
Oh no.
I had gestational diabetes and had to go to more doctor appointments. Just before the third trimester, I went with my partner and my son to visit Jessie for a weekend, and we had a lovely time. But then we had the ultrasound that changed our lives. They detected a huge tumor in my daughter's heart. Oh no. Right in the middle. Oh no. What?
Wow.
Oh,
that's
how
so
does that?
Sad.
How do you not?
What month is this? It's like pretty developed.
It's like third trimester.
Okay.
Yeah, just before the third trimester.
Damn.
Okay, wow, that's okay. Hopefully we'll get some good news here. I had to go through a lot of exams and very stressful appointments. Everyone seemed pretty lost and they didn't seem to know what type of tumor it was and what it would mean for the future of our family. When she was born, we stayed 10 days in the NICU for surveillance. And since everything was doing okay, we were sent home with a monthly visit to the cardiologist. During this time, Jessie was doing a transatlantic excursion by boat, but she didn't call after she came back, nor did she really seem interested in catching up. I had other things to worry about, so I didn't either. When my daughter was just 3 months old, she went to the cardiac arrest at home while I was holding her in my arms.
Oh my God.
I can't even imagine.
Jesus Christ, the terror of that.
Ugh. I had to perform CPR on her, waiting for the medical team to arrive. She was brought back and sent to a hospital pretty far away. My mom came from abroad to take care of my son, 20 months old at the time. My partner and I stayed with our daughter in a pediatric ICU. We lived through heck and saw and heard things no one should have to go through. I bet.
My friend works in a prenatal ICU and says that the pediatric ICU is just like the most traumatic place ever.
It's probably the most traumatic place to be. It's probably one of the happiest places or most traumatic places to be in.
Seriously.
I see.
And so
life. Yeah.
And so OP is living in there. It seems like, or spending a significant amount of time because her daughter's in there.
But there's more. It's not just her daughter. It's everything.
Yeah, you're just in the whole environment.
I would be so bad.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I just remembered a very sad, tragic tale.
Oh, what is it?
I remember when a young Samuel Donner, he wanted to join the cool kids, but instead of labeling you as one of the cool kids,
They called me Salad Boy because I ate nothing but salads. Could not trade my lunch for a lunch bowl, really anything.
You know what community will always welcome you with open arms, Sam?
And make you feel like a cool kid?
The great people who have OK Storytime memberships.
Oh, I heard that 60 plus hours of members only content Monday, Wednesday, Fridays.
You heard right, Sam, and it's only $5 a month.
So go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join. Now back to the story.
Chomp, chomp.
Since her case was very rare and unique, they kept her in a coma for 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
During which she nearly fell into eternal sleep several times before deciding to try and take the tumor out, which they did.
Oh,
Okay.
fantastic.
Wow, this is an emotional roller coaster for me.
Seriously.
I'm more invested into your daughter's health than anything else
it
over
seems
the
like
friendship.
the point of the story rather than like this friendship over 15 years.
Yeah. During this time, Jesse and Victor came to visit us once at the hospital, and it was very comforting to see them. She was there for me and supported me by calling and texting often. We ended up staying 7 weeks in the ICU,
Jeez.
followed by 8 weeks in an orbital hospital wing close to home. After leaving the ICU, Jesse wouldn't call or text anymore. A second open heart surgery was planned a few months after when she was just 9 months old. Jesse wasn't even aware of it. She still has no idea it happened, actually. I tried calling her the day of, but she didn't pick up, so left it at that. That's something you just communicate. You just can't assume.
Yeah, sometimes people call me and I forget to get back to them, or sometimes I call people and they don't get back to me, but it's like if I actually needed something, I'd text them with the reason I was calling.
Yeah. You just, okay.
Like you missed one call, so I assume they don't care anymore.
Exactly. You can't. I hate that.
It's a big assumption there.
That's a terrible assumption mentality. Something that I haven't mentioned about Jessie that is relevant to the story is that she has ended very close friendships in a heartbeat in the past. I feel like that would have been very pertinent at the very beginning.
Yeah, that seems like first initial context.
Yeah, she's a great friend, but she also cuts friendships very quickly.
Yeah.
Sometimes for what I could consider good reasons, others not so much. She's the type of person who has things her way or no way. She also ghosts people frequently, not answering text or calls on month's end and coming back whenever she feels like it. I'd gotten used to this behavior and accepted it, not getting too offended. I don't believe you. From what I've read in the story, I do not believe you because you did not tell us this information. And it seems like, again, like I don't talk to Jesse and it pisses me off. And then we done talk and now we're goody-goody. I feel like you do get offended. It seems like you got offended when she didn't reach out with your daughter.
And you think that's why they're including that information like so much further in the story?
Yeah. I naively thought that if we were still friends after all these ups and downs, and after more than 15 years of friendship, that we were always going to be friends. I was wrong. A few months after the second operation, she sent me a voice message asking me if she could stay at my house for one night after going to a wedding. She didn't even bother calling. I sent her a short text saying yes. I was kind of pissed off she wouldn't call, but still glad to see her. When the day came, she hadn't sent any news, any confirmation, nothing. So I called her. She answered, and I asked her if she was still coming, as it was already 2 p.m. She told me she was, but that the train arrived at 11 p.m. tonight. I was taken aback. I told her that it was very late, and that with a baby and a toddler at home, it wasn't very convenient for me to have to go to a train station so late, and possibly wake them up when we came back home. She told me she had mentioned the time in her voice message. I listened to it again, and she did. I told her I was very sorry, but if she had another plan, that I would prefer her she slept somewhere else. But that if she had nowhere else to go, then I would of course take her in, since I had agreed to it in the first place.
Is there an option for her to Uber in and OP not having to leave and wake up the family?
That would be better. Just like, oh, maybe I'll leave don't leave the door unlocked. Maybe put the key somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like if there's a code.
Because it seems like the issue is like it's inconvenient for it to be this
Get
late.
a taxi.
But if I just don't want to go and get you, and that's gonna cause a ruckus.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like there's other options here.
It also seems like OP kind of messed up on her part with not listening to the voice message.
Yeah, it was in the voice note from the very beginning.
I feel like communication is just very off on OP and Jesse here.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing. It's on both parties here.
Yeah, like it seems like that's consistently been part of their relationship. It's just like miscommunication.
Yeah. She told me she would go somewhere else. The next day, I sent her a text saying that I was again very sorry for the misunderstanding, that I was sad for not seeing her. I had asked her if she would go to where our parents lived this summer and if we would see each other there. I got no answer.
Oh, did she hit her with a ghost?
She's been hitting OP with ghosts since they were 15 years old. I tried reaching out to her several times over the next months and got no answer. But we can always give you an answer by going to our episodes. With stories just like this, just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast app, and search OK Storytime, and we have the answers right there for you. Yes. There's a little bit more to this story, but Alex.
Yes.
From what we got throughout this very convoluted timeline with OP and Jesse, I think we said it already. The communication here is very poor.
Yes.
We already know that Jesse's communication is very, very poor. She ghosts people consistently, and then she'll come back into your life a whole, 100%, then to 0%.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do?
From my understanding, it also seems like OP might not be the best at communicating
or
as
understanding
well.
communication.
It seems like throughout their whole friendship, there's kind of like unspoken tension around like closeness and distance, and it seems like it's never explicitly named.
Yeah.
And so like it seems like small things that don't have to be big issues become big issues because there's just this underlying tension because of all the withholds in the relationship.
It just seems like there's like a terrible misunderstanding every single time you guys try to make a plan. Or like, oh, we're in the same city? Misunderstanding. Like misunderstanding. It's just like it's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
Every time it's like a 50-50. It's like a flip of a coin with your friendship.
So do you think that Jesse is just done at this point?
I think Jesse's definitely pissed off.
Yeah.
Because like, hey, I gave you a heads up. I gave you this notice, and you have it in the voice message, and you're gonna do this to me on the day of I come. I would be really upset. Like I have all these plans, and like we planned this ahead, and okay, you were my plan A, and now I have to find a plan B.
Although she did say, if you don't have any other plans, you could stay here.
When you're told the first thing, you're like, hey, find somewhere else. You're like, I'm gonna go find somewhere else.
Yeah.
And now I'm pissing you off, and now I'm pissed off. I'd rather not see you.
Sure.
So I feel like this is a very sisterly bond. I don't think you end the friendship at all. I think I think OP's putting way too much energy into a friendship that she knows communication is very poor, per se.
I would just say like, it seems like just a general like meta conversation about the friendship just needs to be had.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I sent one last message telling her that this would be the last, but that I was always here for her if she ever wanted to talk. I don't like that.
Yeah. It's like you're assuming for them that they're done, and you're like, I'm always there for you, which is just like kind of a passive aggressive way to like be like, all right, we're not friends anymore.
Yeah, literally. So, and you're like, okay, whatever. I don't like, this is my last message to you, but I'm always here for you.
Yeah. It was just the second message. It's not like you sent 5 messages and you're like, there's nothing else to do. Like, I love you. Yeah. It was just like, it was the second message. She was like, oh, she didn't respond to my message.
Yes. Like, oh, I'm very sorry that and she didn't respond. And then like 5 more texts later, all right, this is my last message to you. So we get a text back from Jessie. She finally responds telling me that our 15 years of friendship were over. Because she was denied hospitality, and that all of the people she could have seen, she chose me over them, and that I had disappointed her. That she wanted to surround herself with people who made her feel good, and that she was done trying to be my friend.
Damn.
I was so taken back after reading this. I cried a lot. This was 4 months ago, and I still haven't replied.
Oh.
I think we hit it on the head that both of you are really bad communicators. You should have
4 months of that text, and you
think replying now is gonna change anything? She's 4 months in, like, okay, the friendship's over. She didn't reply.
She's writing this on Reddit, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna write this, and then I'm gonna wait like 2 months to receive full comments back, and then I'm gonna decide what to do.
Yeah, I think the communication here, that's the biggest thing. I know this friendship is over, but I feel like I have to tell her how I feel. The thing is, I really don't know what to say. I'm at a loss for words. How would you go about it?